record to the cloud, so we'll get that started. I'm Shauna Dorsey with the Nebraska Tech Collaborative. Also have the new responsibility of leading the Intern NE Powered by Exarban initiative, which is focused on helping get more talent into the workforce, and it's not only tech, but all talent. Here with the AIM Institute, and with the entire team, including Renee Franklin, AIM's new president and CEO, Tony Veland, Maggie Thorne, and Brett. So thank you all for being here with us today. AIM has been around for, what is it, about 30 years now?
31.
31. Amazing. So if not the, it's one of the, I think it's the longest standing tech community focused organization. Launched CareerLink and has done some really innovative things over the years to support tech talent. So we really appreciate all that y'all do. Renee, would you like to kick us off with an introduction of yourself and then pass it around to your team?
Sure, absolutely. So I'm Renee Franklin. I'm the new president and CEO of AIM Institute. I've been here since the end of August, and so I'm really excited to be part of this team and part of this great work. And just as background, AIM has been around 31 years, and one of the main features of our mission is to strengthen and diversify the tech workforce. So I will turn it over to Maggie to let her introduce herself.
Hello, Renee also has the best hair in the entire organization, just so everyone knows. My name is Maggie Thorne. I'm the Director of Innovation and Tech Education. I get to not only help oversee our tech education programs to empower people to get into tech, but our marketing, communication, and events. Just helping with the full continuum of the opportunities for people if they get into code school and they get into leadership academies, and then they can continue to stay involved in that tech ecosystem, and we can equip them with other opportunities for growth. And I'll pass it to Tony.
Yeah, Tony Veland, Director of Member Development with AIM, and I've been here going on 6 years now. It's been a great ride, and in essence, what I'm doing is I go out to partner members and I talk about our programs. I talk about ways to support. I talk about the impact that we're actually having in the community, and actually the impact that we actually have in the business force as well. So it gives me a chance to allow people to get close to our programs, to learn about how they can get involved, how they can support the events that we're doing, the custom training and the other technical training that we're doing, and help us to build this tech community here. So 6 years in, and I love what we do.
And I am Brett Berkebile. I am the program manager for technical training and events. So I've been with AIM for about 18 months, but in this current role for only about month number 3. So I oversee the day-to-day operations of our technical training programs, including AIM Code School, as well as our SWIFT initiative in Southwest Iowa, as well as event planning and logistics for our 2 key annual events, Heartland Developers Conference and Tech Awards. And I also oversee all of our AIM Code School instructors and oversee logistics and student needs, just to, sort of the day-to-day needs of our student participants for Code School.
That's awesome. So we're going to talk a lot about what you all have going on, like as far as your key pillars that you're focusing on. But before we get to that, I do want to say that AIM held the coolest event so far this year with the AIM Tech Awards. And can y'all just tell us how that all came together? It was at this car museum. I won't say anymore. Talk to us about it. It was so amazing. How'd it come together? And
Yeah, Peter Fink, it's his private muscle car museum. He's the owner of Certified Transmission, and his facility, as I just said, is private, but he opens it up just 3 to 4 times a year to a select number of events that their core focus is fundraising. And AIM Tech Awards is our largest fundraiser for the year to not only celebrate the tech community, but to help continue to support our programs. And Peter, once he heard about our mission, was all in to donate his facility to let AIM come in, see his private muscle car collection, which is the largest in North America, even above Jay Leno, and host a great event to really celebrate the community as we continue to not only expand our awards and highlighting our full spectrum of programming, but see some really cool vehicles. And we had a record year in terms of our fundraising, attendance with over 700 attendees, and just a phenomenal event. Thanks for coming, be a part of it, and donating as well.
Yeah, it was outstanding. So if for the folks on the call, and then for those who will watch this later, do not miss that event next year. There's also one of the best things about it, in my opinion, too, is the opportunity to just recognize all the awesomeness that's happening here. So the just participating in the nomination process, seeing people be recognized who are doing great things, from students to teachers, which is outstanding, and then folks in the business community. So thanks for that. Renee, can you talk to us a little bit about what AIM is focusing on? So I know you have a variety of programs and initiatives, but talk to us more at a high level about the pillars and where AIM is.
Sure. So we are very tech focused, and we really have almost a continuum of programs to provide opportunities for some of the youth in elementary school, middle school, high school, particularly to get involved with tech, and particularly youth who might normally have barriers or might not necessarily have access. That's one of our main goals, is we really strive to provide access to those students and provide opportunities to learn tech. We also are very diligent about helping those students then become or get involved in maybe a tech coding school. Let's say after high school, they're interested in continuing on into a tech career. Then we offer opportunities with our code school. We also offer opportunities with internship. We will be applying for Intern Nebraska, and also partners with our member corporations so that folks can get into a career. Along the way, we also have two leadership programs that we offer. So once a student, let's say, is in their career for maybe the first 2-3 years, they have a chance to go through an emerging leaders program. And then after they have been in their career for a while, if they're interested in moving higher in a leadership position, we have an advanced leadership program as well. So pretty much everything from those elementary kiddos, services for them, all the way to the professional who's looking to brush up on their career skills. We're the place to go.
That's awesome. And it's great too, like to your point, that you're starting from middle school and taking it's like you can be with an individual throughout their entire career. So that's outstanding. On the mentorship side, can you talk to us a little bit about that? Like, how are folks supporting students that are in your programs?
Mm-hmm. We actually have a couple of positions that are called tech navigators. And so those tech navigators, their role is to really partner with students to really figure out what direction they want to go, help them overcome hurdles, help them overcome any challenges, any barriers that they may have just in life in general, but then also help guide them to the right program that might be the best for them. And that might be a code school, it might be an internship, it might be college. It really just depends on what that individual's needs, desires, and goals are. And so our tech navigators are there to really help listen to our students, understand what their goals are, and help connect them to the right path.
Great. And Maggie, I know you and I have talked about this before, but your Demystifying Tech workshops, outstanding. Can you talk to us about that and just helping people understand what the opportunities are?
Yeah, the great thing about Demystifying Tech is it's exactly what it sounds like. It breaks down the 5 core areas of tech. They work hand in hand with our tech navigators, and they get to find out, is tech for me? Identifying their strengths and what that looks like. And both Brett and myself have had opportunities to teach this class at some point as a part of AIM Institute. And beginning that journey, the possible journey in tech, and just opening their eyes to all the opportunities, helping them make that $1 million decision that over the course of their career, they have an opportunity to make $1 million more than their non-technical counterpart. Well, how do they get started? It's exactly why AIM Institute's here. And we get to partner with them in that journey, figure out what direction to head, and then start their journey on that continuum that gets them into code school. And Brett here can talk in a second about what that pathway looks like. And AIM has continued to not only define better, but strengthen those pathways to truly partner with them in their tech talent journey.
Yeah, Brett, do you want to pick it up on code school?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as Maggie mentioned, it all starts with that introductory workshop that serves as really a great platform and a nice, it gives nice foundational knowledge to those who maybe are new to the tech career. They're between jobs. We understand that life happens and things get in the way, and so a lot of participants that are seeking the next step are just sort of very early in discovery stage. So it all starts with our Foundations of Tech curriculum, which is a foundational course that gives those new to the tech field just the basic toolkit to be able to do simple at-home troubleshooting, or even maybe small business enterprise troubleshooting, rebooting Wi-Fi, really basic systems troubleshooting. And they leave with a nice, valuable certification that says that they understand IT support, and then that transitions into our Foundations of Web Development, which is easily our most popular class, focused on front-end web development in your HTML and CSS and a little bit of JavaScript coding languages. That's a really nice, versatile course, because those, that front-end skill set transfers to a lot of different areas of tech and also outside of tech. So even if you're an entrepreneur, or maybe you're getting started in the business world, having that front end coding skill set is very useful. And then that continuum progresses all the way through more advanced courses in JavaScript. We currently found we have a new instructor who's going to be teaching Foundations of Data. So we now have a data science offering, and those offerings will just continue to expand. So the whole idea is to keep participants in that continuum for as long as possible. So whether it's 4 months, 8 months, or a year, and then as they're gaining those relevant skills, our tech navigators are there the entire time to make sure they network these new participants, these new graduates who have this amazing certification, and they then start to network that local tech talent now to those companies that are hiring for those very sought after jobs.
That's great. And I think too, just for the community's sake, that it's really important for folks to understand that this is a resource. So like, if you have individuals in your network who are curious about tech, you don't have to have all the answers. AIM has a way for them to understand what some of the opportunities are. So that's awesome. And how often are those workshops held? Are they like monthly, or how often do you do those?
So
The demystifying tech one.
Yeah, demystifying tech workshops, we have anywhere from 3 to 4 offerings a month, very flexible offerings, daytime, evening. We have the ability to do that in a virtual environment as well. So to check out the AIM Institute Eventbrite, that's where you'll see all of our listings. And then our Code School offerings are also very versatile. We try to make as many offerings. We understand people have busy schedules, so we try to meet them where they are. So there's a host of different offerings, days of the week, times of day, again, virtual and in-person offerings as well. Just trying to meet all of our participants where they are. So check out AIM Institute Eventbrite to see the full list of offerings.
Okay, thank you.
Too, that's pretty exciting is that right now we have the opportunity to offer all of our Code School participants a free opportunity. So we're not charging anything for our Code Schools or for demystifying. So that's an exciting opportunity, and we are accredited. So all of our Code Schools are accredited by the state of Nebraska as well.
Awesome. So Tony, you mentioned earlier that you are focused on the business partnership. So can you talk to us about how that fits into this picture of training and possibly placement, and whoever wants to contribute to that part of the conversation? Let's love to hear about it.
Yeah, well, a lot of times I'm talking to businesses about kind of what their problems are. Are they having problems finding people in IT? And if they are, what are they doing to address those issues, especially from a diversity standpoint? And a lot of times they're struggling, and so they're needing to find people. And so one of the things we're trying to promote to them is number one, be a little bit open to different hiring practices. In the past, it's been, we're just focusing specifically on 4-year degrees. And right now they're seeing that that's not working, right? We got to find something that's different. And so in order for us to really be able to stop the shortage problem, we got to do something different. And so we're focusing on individuals who are a little more green, a little more newer, but it's allowing companies to take a little bit more active role in that training piece, right? So, our thing is to meet people where they are, get them interested in the tech, and hopefully find themselves in a position where they can probably be that talent that company is actually looking for. But at the same time, companies have to come on board and say, okay, if I really want them to be productive, or if I really want them to, really to be able to fit into our ecosystem, we have to take a more active role in that training. And so we're talking to them about ways to support, whether that is, supporting our programs financially, whether that is coming along and helping us to build, more curriculum with our Code School, whether that's volunteering or mentoring to give these, individuals a chance to see somebody who's actually in the business being successful, telling their story about how they even got to, that position, because a lot of times that path is not linear. They've been here and been in this business and that industry and in that industry, but it gives a chance to really motivate people and say, but even if I didn't come from this storied or starred background, I can still be successful in tech, and there's a whole ecosystem, a whole company and resources behind us to be able to make us be successful. And so that's really one of the things that I like to hit on. And the thing that is really important to me, and I try to impart to them, is that the things that we're doing, we have practical examples of the success. Like, this isn't theoretical type of things. We've had instructors who have gone through our code school who are, paying it forward now, and they're instructing people to do the same thing. We've had an executive assistant who came in, and this was probably 5 years ago, learned about our classes, ended up changing her role, going through two of our classes to change her role, and now she's a full stack developer. She ended up doubling her salary in 1 year. We've had, a kid go through one of our coding classes and ended up, and she didn't even know anything about tech, wasn't even interested in tech, and we ended up, getting her in this class. She ended up loving it. She ended up getting a full internship to UP, Fortune 500 company from South Omaha, and now she's a full stack developer. So we have practical examples of people starting somewhat from the bottom and then being able to be successful. And the more that our companies actually take part in providing those resources and providing the mentorship and even the financial support, as allows us to touch more people. So that's one of the things that I really kind of hit on when I'm talking to our businesses.
Yeah, that's so important. And one more of my favorite success stories from the AIM Institute is Jordi Becerril, Enriquez, who launched Engage Vision. So he's now a startup founder. So he went from the training to engineer to app developer engineer to startup founder, which is so incredible. And just providing these different pathways is so important. And to any business that's on this call, like, really thinking about investing in talent in different ways is so critical. We can't just wait for graduates to come out of the system and expect them to be ready to do everything. We have to invest early and often. So love that y'all are focusing on middle school as well. Okay, so we have about 10 minutes left here. I'd like to open it up for any Q&A, and folks, you can just drop questions in the chat. But while we're waiting for questions to show up, is there anything else that y'all want to share with the audience? The main thing is, like, how can folks be more supportive of the AIM Institute?
I might jump in to say one thing. So, I mean, the umbrella here is that anyone can pursue a rewarding tech career. And as Renee mentioned, breaking down those barriers for the underserved, the underrepresented, but touch point more on leadership academies, really helping to build those soft skills as well with existing leaders. Renee talked a little bit about what that journey looks like, but just a little deeper, the emerging program, which is held twice a year, goes through an 8-session soft skill building to really help equip them to become an IT leader in their role and advance further in their career. And then, as Renee said, getting their feet wet a little more for a few years before they move on to the Advanced Leadership Academy, which is an 8-month program that not only now has mentors as a part of it from executive IT leaders, but helping them with a capstone that brings in a real world scenario that they can go back to their businesses, I mean, ready to be an advanced leader, further equipped with all of those skills strengthened. And one of the incredible things I see is the alumni that continue to stay involved, join our leadership committees, and continue to have an impact above and beyond.
Yeah, absolutely. And just that networking too, like, between businesses is so important when we think about, like, how do we keep Nebraska sticky for our professionals? This is an excellent way to help with those efforts.
Absolutely.
And I would also add to that, just to impress upon businesses to try to get involved earlier. And I know that one of the issues that some businesses have is that, my return on my investment is not coming fast enough. Well, if we're not reaching our kids almost before, high school with interest in tech, they're not going to stay in it. And so the best way to actually address that is have businesses, go in and meet with teachers, meet with classes, and establish, some type of relationship so that, they understand who these companies are. They understand that the companies are here to help them, and that so once the kids go through high school and they're ready to get into the workforce, they're not the first thing they want to do is not go out of state. You know, they actually want to stay here. They have a relationship with a company that has cared for them, has provided, you know, great experiences with them. And the more that we see that, the more we're going to be able to fight that retention problem.
Agreed.
Yeah, and I
Agreed.
just want to add real quick and piggyback off that as well, is that if you are a business owner or hiring manager or a director, just to, I think Tony mentioned it earlier, to really challenge your hiring practices and look at, you know, so many companies require in some cases what seems like unrealistic experience or a 4-year degree. Just think outside the box a little bit and understand that there's a huge groundswell of tech talent out there that may not have that formal education. You know, there's plenty of, you know, there's AIM Institute as well as other providers that, and even online certifications that carry plenty of value and plenty of weight. So just think outside the box and look at the real world skill set. There could be a lot of 19 and 20-year-olds who are maybe pursuing a college degree, but they already have certifications and the real world skills that could benefit your company. So just think outside the box a little bit when you look at addressing your tech talent needs, and just understand there are so many very talented people out there that might not yet have that 2 or 4 year degree that you might be looking for.
Yeah.
The other pieces of our program that I think is really valuable is that we do work with our member organization and corporations throughout Omaha, Council Bluffs, and Lincoln to really think about how we can help increase the knowledge of their tech force. A great example before I got here was a partnership that AIM created with Physicians Mutual. So Physicians Mutual had a lot of telemarketers who were really interested in going to the next level, and AIM helped create a program called Callers to Coders and helped those telemarketers actually get into coding and then advance into Physicians Mutual in a coding role. So, you know, that's another benefit of AIM. A lot of times corporations may not have the time or the talent to be able to lift up students to the next level. And so we can certainly help with that.
Yeah, and I have heard success stories from that program in the community. So just long term, you know, since I know, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on the person who started it at Physicians, but who, I'm sorry.
Nathan Coberly.
Yes, Nathan Coberly. Yes, very forward thinking individual. But yeah, just love that y'all put that together, and again, providing pathways even for people within companies to advance their skill set to stay with that company. That's outstanding. So any final words from the AIM team? I'm not seeing any questions in our queue yet, so y'all just did a great job of sharing what needed to be shared, but any final thoughts?
I would just say for anybody that is you know, thinking about getting into the tech world and don't know where to start, don't hesitate to reach out to us. You know, we have tech navigators whose job in essence is to help you with that career path. So you don't need to be scared. We understand that tech can be a huge, you know, engagement, but you know, our job is to make that simplified for you, you know, to find out what your skill sets are, to find out what opportunities are there, and to try to make those match. And again, we're meeting people where they are. So you don't worry about finance, don't worry about, you know, the lack of knowledge. We're here to help you with all those issues.
Yeah, I would encourage folks to jump on our website. Almost all of our offerings are listed there, and I, for one, wasn't aware of how many great opportunities and workshops and free sessions AIM provides, but it is very comprehensive, and we really have something for everyone.
Yes, and final thought, the time is now, because the timing is amazing. If you're on this call and you feel motivated or compelled, or maybe you work closely with an associate or a friend or family member, it's like, you know, I really want to take advantage of this opportunity. We have new cohorts launching January 15th. All of our foundational courses, Foundations of Tech, Foundations of Web Development, in both virtual and in-person settings, are launching the second week of the year with new curriculum. So shameless plug for Code School courses coming up in January.
As you should, and remember, that's tuition free. That's outstanding. So that is fantastic. Well, thank you, AIM team. I'm going to go ahead and end the call, but stay with me for a second, and thanks to y'all who joined us.
Thank you.